actually have in real life.
If you're around B1 level, maybe touching B2, this episode is for you.
We're going to look at how people really talk at work, with new colleagues, with people they just met.
And we'll focus on what makes those conversations flow. Not perfect grammar, not fancy words.
Just clear English, friendly English, English that helps you connect with people.
We'll share real-life examples and common situations, things you might face at the office, while traveling, or when making new friends.
And as you listen, don't worry about catching every single word. Just relax. Let the language come to you.
Also, quick reminder before we start, making mistakes is normal.
Very normal. And honestly, mistakes usually mean you're learning.
So don't try to be perfect, just try to communicate. Try to enjoy the conversation.
All right. Are you ready to take your English conversations one step further?
Let's get into it.
So our first conversation today happens at work. Two coworkers meeting for the first time at a new job.
We have Sarah. She's been working at a marketing company for about 6 months.
And David. He just started this week. New job, new place, new people.
This situation is very common. You're the new person, you want to fit in, but you don't want to feel awkward.
They're having lunch together in the office cafeteria.
Sarah is being friendly. She's showing David around and helping him feel comfortable.
What I really like about this conversation is how natural it feels.
They talk about work, but they also talk about life, backgrounds, interests, small details.
This is what good workplace English sounds like. Professional, but still warm.
Listen to how they use small talk to build a connection. They ask follow-up questions. They show real interest.
That's what keeps a conversation moving.
All right, let's listen in.
Hi, you must be David, the new guy on the creative team. I'm Sarah from marketing. Mind if I sit here?
Oh, hey, Sarah. Yeah, that's me. Of course, go ahead. I was actually hoping to meet people from other departments.
Nice. So how's your first week going so far? I remember feeling completely lost when I started here.
Honestly, it's been a bit overwhelming, but also exciting. Everyone seems really nice, and the office feels much more relaxed than my last job.
That's good to hear. Where were you working before?
I was at a small advertising agency downtown. The work was interesting, but it was very stressful. Long hours, tough clients. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I totally get that. I came from a similar place. That's one reason I really like it here. They care about work-life balance.
I noticed that during the interview. By the way, how did you end up in marketing? Did you always plan to work in this field?
Not really. I studied journalism in college, but after graduating, I couldn't find many good opportunities. So I tried marketing, and it turns out I enjoy it a lot.
That's interesting. I studied graphic design, so this role feels natural to me, but I've always been curious about the marketing side.
You'll get a good look at it. Our teams work together quite often.
Actually, we're starting a new campaign next month for a tech startup. We'll need creative support.
That sounds great. I'd love to be involved. What kind of startup is it?
They build apps for small businesses, things like inventory tools and customer service systems.
Not very flashy, but interesting.
Exactly. The challenge is making something simple feel appealing.
I like that kind of challenge. Sometimes the simplest products need the most creative ideas.
You're going to fit in well here. So what do you like to do outside of work? Any hobbies?
I'm really into hiking and rock climbing. There's some great trails about an hour north of the city. What about you?
I'm more of an indoor person, to be honest. I love reading, and I'm taking a cooking class on weekends.
Nice. What are you learning to cook?
Pasta, mostly. I always wanted to make it from scratch.
That's impressive. I'm terrible in the kitchen. I survive on takeout and frozen food.
Well, once I get better, maybe I can teach you 1 or 2 simple dishes.
I'd definitely take you up on that. And thanks for being so welcoming. Starting a new job can be stressful.
Of course, we've all been there.
Actually, a few of us go for drinks after work on Fridays. Nothing fancy. You should join us this week.
That sounds great. I'd love to meet more people in a relaxed setting.
Perfect. I'll send you the details later. And if you need help with anything, just ask. Even finding good coffee nearby.
Thanks. I really appreciate that. I already feel much better about being here.
That conversation felt very real.
Yes, and there's a lot we can learn from it.
One thing that stands out is how Sarah started the conversation.
Sarah used what we call a soft opener. You must be David. Friendly, natural.
And David didn't just answer yes or no, he added extra information.
That's an important intermediate skill, expanding your answers.
They also shared similar experiences, feeling lost at a new job, stress from past work.
That builds trust quickly. It makes the other person feel understood.
And notice how they made future plans, Friday drinks, cooking together.
That's how a simple conversation turns into a real connection.
In the next part, we'll look at a very different conversation, a family conversation, deeper, more emotional.
But just as useful for your English.
The next conversation takes us to a very different setting.
Yes, this one happens at home, between a parent and a child.
It's a conversation many people can relate to, talking about the future, about uncertainty.
Jake has finished high school. He's working at a bookstore, but he's unsure about college.
And his mom wants to understand him, not push him.
Listen to how calm the tone is, how respectful the language feels.
This is a great example of intermediate English used for serious, emotional topics.
Let's listen.
Jake, can we talk for a minute? I've been thinking about your situation lately.
Sure, Mom. Is this about college again? I told you, I'm still figuring things out.
Partly, yes, but I'm not here to pressure you. I just want to understand what's on your mind.
I appreciate that. Honestly, I'm still not sure which direction to take.
It's been almost a year since you graduated. That's a lot to carry.
I know. The bookstore job has been good, but I don't see it as a long-term plan.
I'm glad you're being realistic. What makes this decision so difficult for you?
I think it's because everyone else seems so certain. My friends chose majors right away. They look confident.
And you don't feel that same certainty.
Exactly. When I think about studying something for 4 years, I want to be sure it's right.
That actually sounds very thoughtful to me.
Really? Sometimes it feels like I'm just stuck.
Taking time doesn't mean you're stuck, but I do worry that waiting too long could make it harder to return to studying.
I've thought about that too. Maybe community college could be a good start.
How so?
I could take general courses, see what I enjoy, without committing to a full program right away.
That's not a bad idea at all. It's more flexible and usually less expensive.
Exactly. And I could keep working at the bookstore during the day.
How do you feel about the job itself? Are you learning anything useful?
Actually, yes. I've learned a lot about customer service and inventory systems.
That's great experience.
Being around books all day also got me interested in reading again.
You always loved reading when you were younger.
I did. Lately, I've been thinking about literature, or maybe writing, journalism even.
Those are interesting paths. What worries you about them?
I want to make sure I can support myself. I don't want to struggle financially.
That's a very smart concern, and I'm glad you're thinking about it.
But sometimes it feels like passion and stability don't go together.
They can, and remember, your first job doesn't have to be your final one.
True. What was it like for you at my age?
Honestly, I didn't know either.
Really?
I started college wanting to be a teacher. It wasn't until my second year that I took a biology class.
And that changed everything?
It did. I fell in love with it. That's when I switched to nursing.
I never knew that.
Life rarely follows a straight line, and that's okay.
So, changing direction isn't a failure.
Not at all. What matters is moving forward and staying open.
That makes me feel a lot better. I've been worried I'm falling behind.
You're 20. Very few people have it all figured out at that age.
It just looks that way online.
Exactly. Appearances can be misleading.
So, what do you really think about community college?
I think it's a strong first step. We should look into programs together.
Maybe I could start in the spring. That gives me time to save money.
That sounds reasonable. Thanks for being so understanding. This hasn't been easy for me.
Of course, I want you to be happy and capable, not rushed.
I promise I won't let fear stop me from trying.
That's all I ask. Maybe once I take some classes, things will feel clearer.
I'm confident they will.
You really believe that?
I do. I trust your ability to figure things out.
Thanks, Mom. That means a lot.
Let's sit down this weekend and look at some college websites together.
I'd like that. I'm actually starting to feel excited instead of anxious.
That's a good sign.
This conversation feels very different from the first one we heard.
Yes, but the skills are similar. Listening, validating, asking thoughtful questions.
Notice how Emma never rushed Jake. She acknowledged his feelings first.
She also shared her own story. That made her advice feel real.
This kind of storytelling is powerful at intermediate level.
And they made concrete plans, looking at websites together, choosing a semester. That turns a heavy conversation into action.
In the final part, we'll connect both conversations. Workplace talk and family talk. Different situations, same core skills.
And we'll leave you with a simple challenge you can try this week.
When you put these two conversations side by side, something interesting appears.
They look very different on the surface. One is at work, one is at home.
But underneath, the communication skills are almost the same.
Both conversations are built on connection, not perfection.
Let's start with the workplace example again.
Sarah didn't try to impress David with big words.
She focused on making him feel comfortable, seen, welcome.
She asked open questions. How's your first week going? Where did you work before?
And when David answered, she didn't rush to the next topic.
She reacted, she related, she shared her own experience.
That back and forth is what makes intermediate English sound natural.
It's not about long speeches, it's about small bridges between people.
David did something important too.
He expanded his answers. He didn't stop at one sentence.
When he said his last job was stressful, he added details.
Long hours, tough clients. Simple phrases, but very real.
That gives the other person something to respond to.
And it invites empathy.
Now look at the family conversation.
The topic is heavier, the emotions are deeper.
But the language is still clear and direct.
Emma didn't lecture Jake. She didn't say, "You must do this."
She said, "I want to understand what you're thinking."
That single sentence changed the whole tone.
It created a safe space.
Jake felt free to say, "I don't know yet."
And instead of criticizing, Emma reframed his uncertainty.
She called it thoughtful, mature, responsible.
That's a powerful skill in English.
Taking a concern and turning it into a strength.
You can use this in many situations.
At work, with family, even with friends.
Another thing both conversations did well is pacing.
Nobody rushed, nobody interrupted.
There were natural pauses, short responses, gentle questions.
This slower rhythm is very helpful for intermediate speakers.
It gives you time to think, to choose words, to breathe.
You don't need to sound fast to sound fluent.
Often, sounding calm is more powerful.
Let's talk about the language itself for a moment.
Both conversations used everyday vocabulary.
But they also included a few useful intermediate expressions.
Things like, to be honest, actually, I've been thinking about.
Or, that sounds reasonable. I totally get that.
These phrases act like glue.
They hold the conversation together.
You don't need to use all of them at once.
Just one or two can make your English feel smoother.
Here's a small micro-action you can try.
The next time someone asks you a question, don't stop at the basic answer.
Add one extra sentence.
For example, not just, it's good.
But, it's good, and I'm enjoying the team so far.
That small addition keeps the conversation alive.
Another micro-action is sharing a short personal detail.
Like Emma did with her college story.
You don't need a long story, just a real one.
Something that shows you've been there too.
Both conversations also ended with something important.
A future step.
Friday drinks, cooking together, looking at college websites.
This turns talk into connection.
And connection is the real goal of language.
Not sounding perfect, not using complex grammar.
Just being understood and understanding others.
So if you take one thing from today, let it be this.
Intermediate English is not a wall, it's a bridge.
A bridge between knowing the language and living in it.
This week, try having one meaningful conversation in English.
Ask a follow-up question. Share a short story. Make a simple plan.
Notice how the other person responds.
And notice how you feel after.
Chances are you'll feel more confident than before.
And that confidence grows one conversation at a time.
As we come to the end of today's episode, let's slow down for a moment.
And take a breath.
We've listened to two very different conversations.
One between coworkers, one between a parent and a child.
But both showed us the same truth about English at this level.
Good English is not about sounding smart,
It's about being human.
about listening, responding, and staying present.
In the workplace conversation, Sarah and David didn't rush.
They didn't try to impress each other.
They used simple words, short sentences, honest reactions.
And because of that, the conversation felt easy.
In the family conversation, Emma didn't push for answers.
She created space. She showed trust.
That allowed Jake to open up, to think out loud.
This is an important reminder for English learners.
You don't need perfect sentences to have meaningful conversations.
You need intention, curiosity, and a bit of courage.
A lot of learners wait,
They wait until their English feels ready.
but readiness doesn't come first. Action does.
Every conversation is practice,
Every small moment is progress.
and mistakes are part of that progress.
Think about the people in today's conversations.
They weren't using perfect grammar.
They weren't choosing difficult words.
They were simply communicating clearly and kindly.
That's real English.
And that's the kind of English you can start using today.
So here's a gentle challenge for you.
This week, have one real conversation in English.
It doesn't need to be long.
Just meaningful.
Ask one follow-up question.
Share one personal detail.
And if it feels uncomfortable at first, that's okay.
Growth usually feels like that.
If you enjoyed this episode and want more conversations like this,
More real English, more calm guidance, more confidence building.
Make sure you subscribe to Miss English channel.
We share new episodes regularly to help you listen better and speak more naturally.
And if today's episode helped you, feel free to share it with someone who's learning English too.
Learning is easier when you don't do it alone.
Thank you for spending this time with us.